Okay, folks, says we're live. I hope y'all are getting anything out of these videos. At the end of the day, again, my main issue is sharing with folks, uh, things that I can personally relate to. I can personally relate to what it's like to have an experience that's completely life altering. Um, Nobody understands you. Nobody understands what you're going through. So no matter what that is, Billy Joel had a helicopter or an airplane crash, and you may recall, and it was something that changed his world. And he couldn't really relate to his current wife about it. They ended up divorcing. Then he ended up with the other lady who could relate um, in different ways. And they forged a bond over that. That's just human nature. We experience all kinds of things that we consider either a big event or a traumatic event, and the one thing that anybody and everybody wants is someone to be able to relate to it, or at least be able to be heard. So I know on my me for me personally, prior to the internet and so forth, I went and tried to speak to different people with a lot of frustrations. I remember we had a guest speaker, and I don't quite remember what that was, but there was a guest speaker in Covington, Louisiana, about UFOs and something. And this guy was supposedly someone famous. Um, Even like Bob Lazar or something like that. It was a big name. I forget who it was. It was at least 10 years ago, within the last 10 years, and and even in that meeting, here I am among people that have curiosities about it, or people that have experienced things and want to say something. But all the while, the speaker wasn't really saying anything, and damn sure wouldn't admit these things. And I just got frustrated, and I was speaking out, and I just ended up leaving. So when I go to when I reach out today with the internet resources to people like MUFON and whatever, um, I want to reach out to them as well, or other big organizations, and not necessarily so I can have my name in highlights and be on TV and so forth. That's fine and dandy, but more so for the fact that just so you can tell your story. But then you end up with the other side of the equation. You get all this judgment. Okay. Um, so I know full well what that's like. Um, and so, again, I'm trying to create a channel, an environment here where folks that, if you can't go to MUFON or anything like that, or they won't respond, and you need to feel like you want to talk about experiences that you had, whether it's a ghost haunting, UFOs, any paranormal stuff. Um, and I'm going to get into other paranormal stuff that aren't considered scary. When we talk about the brothers in Baton Rouge, two retired Air Force colonels, um, that's another subject for another day. So, again, I cannot emphasize that's what this channel was created for you folks to be able to comment and collaborate. We can get on Zoom, private Zoom conference calls, and share your story in confidence. Um, Many things, we can relate to many things. Trust me. Um, so please do that. Okay, so regarding the reptilians, what is your thoughts about that? What are your experiences, um, etc.? Please comment below. I'd love to hear it. This is my take on it. Real short, sweet, and simple, I guess. Number one, I cannot ignore the observations of all of the reptilian references throughout all of the known archaeological remnants of the past and or present. I cannot ignore the, I guess may not be the right word, but let's say the due diligence for someone of sound mind to scratch their head and ask yourself, why or how did reptilian type entities have such an influence on prior and or current civilizations? I'm not really going to get into all that right now. Maybe that's a discussion for another time. It is fascinating. If you get into the whole Anunnaki story and the battle between Enlil and Enki, I believe, and Thoth, arguing about whether they should educate the new AI, us humans. Part of that process was giving us the knowledge of medicine. And the argument or story is that as Enlil or Enki, I forget which one, or Thoth, one of the three, the ones that gave us the medicine, being a reptilian, therefore the medical symbol of a snake was in honor of them. And then it's also noted by different folks that the curvature or the enveloping or wrapping of the snakes together also in plain sight represents the I believe it was the double helix and or the different chromosomes representative of our particular chromosomal DNA package. So that's one of the biggest arguments for the reptilian influence. Politically, ha ha ha. If you told me Hillary Clinton and Pelosi and all of them were reptilians, I definitely believe it and love to see it. That's just me. But who knows? Musk, Eddie Murphy, anybody. The mailman right here can be reptilian. I don't know. What I can tell you is on my own personal experience. And that is the following. So, at one point in time, I enjoyed and made a point out of accepting as many friends on Facebook as I could from every diversity of background, political, race, cultural, what country and region they're from, anything and everything from all over the entire planet. My goal at that time was to have an open mind and see, just sit back and listen and observe different perspectives from different folks, and then see what I make of that. In this process, I ended up befriending a Facebook friend from South Africa. young single mom in her 30s. She had a son that was like a young teenager. And I didn't have a whole lot of communication with her. And of course, there's a big time delay being that far away on anything direct like Zoom or any FaceTime. Okay. Um, there was one instant though. Um, and again, this is another weird scenario where I didn't have much. I don't know why I didn't have much I wasn't able to communicate as much as possible. And then things in the world come up and take me away from that and not allow me to be able to find her again to continue along my line of questioning. Um, so all I do have was um, a lot of weird conversations. And so overall, she was super nice, super friendly, um, congenial, sounded highly educated, and and she started to send me, a couple of pictures of what she looks like. And I remember one time she sent me a picture of the first time, and so she reached out to me and said, "Hey, did you get my picture? Were you able to see it?" And I just said, "Yeah, I got it." And so she asked me if I was able to pick up on any small nuances in that picture. And I said, "Well, I kind of thought so, but I wasn't sure. What is it that you may be referring to?" So she says, "Well, go back and look at the eyes." I said, "Okay." So in the photo, um, it's not something that you notice at a quick glance. If you're looking at a photo and you see it's a photo of a male, female, a cousin, aunt and uncle, friend, guy on the street, whatever, you just see a photo and that's that. Um, I don't. I think the average person doesn't perhaps go looking at complete details. But in this case, upon her nudging, I went ahead and looked further, and I noticed that her eyes were reptilian. Looks like a reptilian eye, and so I was kind of curious about that. The next following day or so, we ended up for a few minutes on a video call. And during that time, we were discussing, and she said, "Yeah, um, you since you, I didn't expect this to come up. Um, you know what? I'll just go ahead and put it out there. Um, what the heck? Um, she was able to intuitively, or whatever her source was, to know that I am a guardian of the light. What some people in the spiritual circles will call a guardian of light. Um, I am part of the Anisiamo group. Um, I've said that word, and I've typed that word a couple of times on Facebook and different things. I'm waiting for the government to show up at my door. Haven't been here yet. Good luck trying to Google that word. It's one of the only words that I can't Google. Go figure. Anisiamo. So she says, since I know that you are one of the guardians, I can confide in you, because she says she's one. She did not say that she's part of the Anesiamo. She didn't say she wasn't, but she didn't say she was, and but did say she was part of the Guardians, and and so she wanted to confide in me and show me. So she brought her face up to the camera and spread out her eyes and started, blinking, and then her eyes started blinking. Uh, what is that? Horizontally. Um, so if you ever seen the first movie, Men in Black, Will Smith chases the guy up that building, and then right before he's about to jump off the cliff, his eyes blink and double eyes blink. Um, so that was basically it. I'm like, okay, so so you're a reptilian, and she says yes. I said, okay, well, can you tell me about that? We didn't. One of the weird things about all my conversations with her was that whenever we did speak, say like video, or 90% of it on the video was voice only. So in truth, the only time that we ever got to share exchange of video call through picture, video, and not just voice, was for just a few minutes on that only. Every other exchange was like Facebook messaging through video calls, like a phone call or a satellite phone call. Okay. Um, and every time we spoke, due to the time difference, it was nighttime for her. And she kept talking, and she was always in a hurry. And she and her son were always talking about running out and patrolling the streets of the zombies. And, for the life of me, I'm like, this is an entire crazy conversation with, otherwise, I would say, a crazy person. But apparently, she's a freaking reptilian. I don't know what's going on. And she's telling me that her and her son are trying to guard her town as best they can from the zombies. And um, and this conversation continued, and I did ask her about, the reptilians. I said, well, look, I don't, all I asked and was able to get in those short conversations was, I said, I always heard negative things about the reptilians. And so she says, no, absolutely not. We, just like humans, are good and bad. Said, okay. Unfortunately, that's the extent of my question and answering with her. And I still never, I didn't understand the whole, I'm in a hurry, I have to go fight the zombie things for a long while. Later, I found out that it was, she was referring to the drugs, I think it's fentanyl or something, these crazy drugs that made its way to the US and that were turning people into all these tweakers and crazy zombie type people. And now I got the chance to head out west and live out there for a little while in Northern California. And for the first time, I got to see what a tweaker is in person. And there's plenty of them. So then I got to better understand, what in the heck she was talking about. So So that was, and then again after that, it wasn't too long after that I ended up moving, and I lost some things, including a lot of Facebook contacts, including hers, unfortunately. I have no clue how to reach her again. Um, if you are a reptilian, if you know that for a fact, or you believe you are, or you want to be, or you know others that are, or you've seen them or experienced them, um, and you wish to speak to us about it in complete anonymity, um, and private, again, through the comments, through emailing me, and or through we can Zoom, a private Zoom conversation, whatever. We would absolutely love to hear from you. That's why I created this channel. So that's my reptilian story. Thank you very much. Have a great day.